All right, so let's talk dinner. I went over to San, I believe it is, San, as I mentioned before, and it was quite the experience. With dinner being a 5-course option, I thought, hey, this should be interesting. You know, there are 5 different options to hopefully like what I'm going to have. And let me tell you that this modern French restaurant, which is what it's marketed as, is very interesting. The first course was scallops with a sea urchin emulsion. That one kind of set an interesting tone for the dinner. I was not the biggest fan. It wasn't horrible. I think it was just the texture that got to me, and it was served cold, and there's kind of like a mint sauce situation going on. And then the sea urchin had mayo with it too, but it was overall good. Like, I would eat it again, but I would never go out of my way for it. It was then followed up with mackerel served with cabbage and seaweed, which I absolutely love. Like, that dish was amazing. The mackerel was cooked to perfection. The waitress called it algae, but I think she meant seaweed. Whatever it was very good. So that moved us on to item 3, which was the beetroot with smoked duck and walnuts. This might have been my least favorite. I'm not a big fan of beets, and I was expecting it to be served warm due to the smoked duck, but what it was actually like this like smoke, she said roasted duck that they then kind of chilled and rolled. But it was fine. Again, just not one of my favorites. Then we moved on to like the main dish, which actually came into 2 separate servings and plates. The first one came in this bowl, and it was the venison, the leg of venison, and it was in this like wrap. I'm not really sure what it was served with or in, but it was great. Probably one of my favorite things that I tried there. And then the second half of that full-on entree was the actual like fillet cut of venison, which was also great. Came with Jerusalem artichoke and served with cacao. And last but not least, they ended with dessert that was made out of carrots. And if you're anything like me, you're like, that doesn't sound like dessert unless it's carrot cake, which I don't like. But it was not a cake. It was legitimately carrots, which you'll see here, served with what almost seemed like a candied praline type substance, ice cream, a sweetened carrot puree, and I'm not even sure what else was in there, but being labeled textures of carrots, you could definitely tell they really put in the energy to bring out different flavors of carrots all together, both sweet and almost a little bit savory. It was a really good dessert. I did not expect to like it, but I really did. By that point in time, I was so full, but like I had to finish it. And what I thought was interesting about this restaurant is that each one of the dishes was supposed to represent a different country, part of the world. I'll kind of just maybe put them across the bottom here. And the other thing that I thought was really weird at first is that they only have spoons. Every dish came in a bowl, and the only cutlery that you could use was spoons. And so I think it was after dish 2 or maybe 3, I asked the waitress, why do you only have spoons? And the whole ethos behind it is that they want you to taste all the flavors together, but when you have, so that's why everything's served in a bowl with a spoon. Because when you have things in a plate and you use a fork or a knife, people have the tendency to want to kind of like separate things and pick out certain elements of the dish to eat one at a time. But what they wanted people to do was to get that spoon element and bring all the flavors in together and not be able to kind of pick and choose, because there's a reason why they brought and blended all of those flavors together. So I thought it was pretty interesting, especially after the day that I had trying to find food. It was great to experience something different, something new. Definitely one of the more unique meals that I had here. And I would recommend this place to people. If you're gonna be in town and you're looking for high quality food, that's where you probably are gonna wanna go if you're staying around the city center. It's only about a 2-3 minute walk away. That being said, with the tasting menu, it's €65 a person, so it's a bit like more expensive than most of the meals that you're gonna be eating around here. And then that's not including your like service fee, water, wine, whatever it is that you're gonna get in addition to that. At this point in the night, I switched to my regular trip vlogging. For more on what I did in Belgium, please click the link in the description box below to check out that video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at EmmieEats. Thanks so much for watching.